Today, we are diving into a short story called Angel Eyes. And let me tell you, it is an absolute masterclass in how to lie to your reader. We're going to break down how the author builds this entire believable world for us, only to just completely pull the rug out from under us at the very end. So get this. The author literally started with this as their mission statement. This one sentence is the blueprint for the entire story. Every single word, every little description, it's all built around this one idea. So you're not just reading a story. You're walking into a very, very clever trap. All right, so let's meet our protagonist, Elise Stonheim. The story kicks off with a really simple but powerful idea. After 5 very long years of waiting, she is finally about to meet a man named Edward Houston. Right away, the stage is set for what feels like this incredibly intense, long-awaited moment. And let's just pause on that for a second. 5 years. I mean, think about what you were doing 5 years ago. The author really wants us to feel the sheer weight of that time. This isn't just some little crush. We're meant to believe this is a consuming, all-encompassing passion. The story immediately starts throwing these labels at us. Is this an obsession? Is it ambition? We find out her bedroom walls are plastered with his pictures, ripped straight from magazines. Her friends are literally begging her to let him go. As the reader, we're being guided down a very specific path. We're thinking, okay, she's a super fan, maybe a jilted ex, totally hung up on some celebrity. And the deception just goes deeper and deeper when we see how this whole thing is affecting her actual life. At one point, she flat out declines a call from her fiancé because, and I quote, Edward couldn't wait. This detail is designed to make us think we're watching a woman whose fixation is just destroying everything around her. We're thinking, wow, what a tragic love story. Okay, so let's talk about how she gets ready for this meeting, because this is where the clues start to get a little weird, a little unsettling. This isn't just her putting on a nice outfit. No, this is a full-on transformation. It's like a ritual, and she's trying to become someone else entirely. So, we learn that this guy, Edward, he has a type. He's into women with bright blue eyes, calls them angelic. And then we get this little detail. Elise's sister had those exact same eyes. So when Elise pops in a pair of blue contacts, we just assume, oh, okay, she's trying to be his perfect woman. Simple, right? But the ritual gets much, much stranger. First, the blue contacts go in. Then she pulls out this old, vintage Dolce & Gabbana dress from a dusty box that's been sealed shut. And here's the kicker. We find out this is the exact dress her sister was wearing the last time she met Edward. Her reaction to wearing this dress is, well, it's violent. She feels sick to her stomach, like she's literally suffocating. She has a panic attack. There are pill bottles knocked over. I mean, these are massive red flags. But the way the story is told, we're tricked into thinking it's just extreme anxiety about the meeting. And the only thing that calms her down is thinking about Edward. So, after all this intense preparation, where does she finally end up? Not at some fancy restaurant, not a secret hotel rendezvous. Nope. She arrives at a dark, imposing courthouse. And you just get this feeling that the setting is all wrong for the story we think we're reading. Outside, it is absolute chaos. But look at the details the author gives us. This is not a crowd of adoring fans waiting for an autograph. It is a mob. You've got press everywhere, cameras, microphones, people with their fists in the air, holding angry-looking signs. This is a protest. And here is the real magic trick. We are seeing all of this through Elise's eyes, and she just rationalizes it all away. She thinks, oh, they must just be mad because this public appearance got canceled. And because we're stuck inside her head, we accept her version of reality. We walk right into the trap alongside her. Once inside, the tension is just, you could cut it with a knife. And then Elise finally sees him, Edward Houston. But he is not the handsome, charismatic guy from the magazines. He looks older, he's a mess, he's wearing drab clothes. And in this moment, the entire story is about to turn on a dime. And suddenly, the story forces us to ask the questions we probably should have been asking the whole time. Wait a second. Why is that crowd so angry? Why is this supposed romantic meeting happening in a courtroom of all places? Everything we thought we knew is about to go up in smoke. And there it is, the key detail, the fact that's been hidden from us from page 1. The gavel slams down, a life sentence is read aloud. Edward Houston is not a celebrity, he's a remorseless serial killer. Instantly, the whole story just reassembles itself in your brain. You see the real timeline. His victim was her sister. The 5-year obsession was never about love. It was about hunting him down. This isn't a long-awaited meeting. It's his sentencing. And for Elise, it's the day she gets her revenge. You see, for everyone else in that courtroom, a life sentence feels like justice. But not for Elise. For her, it isn't even close. It's not enough for her sister's life. For the 5 years of her own life that she lost, for her sanity, which is completely gone, the system's version of justice is not hers. So, now that we know the devastating truth, let's hit rewind. Let's go back and see exactly how the author built this incredible illusion. Let's look at the architecture of this lie. Let's look at those clues again with our new eyes. The angel eyes, that wasn't about being attractive. It was a psychological weapon to force him to see his victim's face in his last moments. The dress, it wasn't a romantic tribute. It was the actual dress her sister was murdered in. And the crowd, not fans. They were the grieving families of his other victims. Every single clue was right there in plain sight. So how did the author pull it off? Well, it's a whole toolkit of tricks. First, an unreliable narrator. We are trapped in Elise's revenge-obsessed mind, so we only see what she sees. Then the masterfully withheld detail of who Edward really is. Words like obsession were used as clever subtext, meaning something completely different. And all those red flags we saw, the panic attacks, the pills, that was all foreshadowing we were cleverly guided to misinterpret. And this all leads to the absolutely shocking ending, because Elise doesn't just sit there and accept the verdict. She stands up and she delivers her own justice. And in his final moments, he sees the blue eyes, he sees the dress, and he finally understands. He remembers. The plan she worked on for 5 years is finally complete. The story ends by leaving us with this huge, heavy question. Elise got what she wanted, revenge. But she lost her sanity, her fiancé, her entire future to get it. It really forces you to think about that thin, blurry line between justice and vengeance, and what happens when a person decides the system just isn't enough. What a ride. Just an unforgettable piece of storytelling.